Hello and welcome to this special edition of the NoVacancy London podcast, hosted ahead of NoVacancy London, which takes place 25th, 26th of February, London Excel. And I'm delighted to have with me today Florian Montag from Apaleo. How are you doing, Florian?
I'm very good, Dan. Thanks for the invitation.
You're coming direct from Berlin, I understand.
Exactly, from snowy Berlin.
Snowy Berlin. Okay, we haven't got it just yet in London, but I think other parts of the UK. So, Florian, thanks for joining. Apaleo are gold sponsors of NoVacancy London, and obviously you yourself also have a speaking session. And I guess today we're going to have a good chat around all things AI. As a kind of precursor to your session at NoVacancy. And just want to start off though, Florian, for those that aren't aware, and maybe they're few and far between, can you sort of bring to life yourself, your role within the business and Apaleo as a platform and who it works with, what it does?
Yeah, wonderful. Myself, as you said, my name is Florian. I have a hospitality background, studied hotel management, started the first company in the hotel space, helping hoteliers to find the right software solutions. And over 4 years ago, joined Apaleo on the mission of enabling hoteliers to leverage the best technology to support the hotels to meet their business goals, operate, streamline their operations, and enhance the guest experience. And Apaleo is a property management platform. What does that mean? At the end of the day, we are PMS. We work with hotels, hotel groups like Citizen M at the global scale, but also with smaller independent properties or brands like Molly's or Nestor and others in the UK. And internationally, we are German based. We come from Munich. But are already today in over 30 countries and have over 2,000 hotels working with Apaleo. Myself, my role is I oversee our commercials at Apaleo. So everything which is sales, marketing, growth, especially on an international basis as well. And excited to be speaking with you today about one of the big trends which will impact hotel operations in the future and have already started impacting in the past few years.
Sure, thank you. So we're going to get straight into it. And the first topic that we've got is around AI as a business advantage and no longer as a tech experiment. So from what you're seeing today, what's changed? Why is AI now becoming a genuine business advantage?
Yeah, I mean, I think anyway, at the same time, AI is still a big buzzword, right? And there's a lot of subcategories in there, and everybody who's going to listen to this podcast or this session is going to have a different interpretation of what AI means for them. And we can see in our daily lives already that, you know, most of the consumers have really adopted LLMs, you know, the likes of ChatGPT, etc., very fast. And we see as well this being more and more implemented and used in business operations and business use cases. We have seen over the last 2 years ago, for example, a lot of the question is, hey, should we allow ChatGPT in my business or not? To really now moving forward with hotels saying, okay, how can I use AI to first use, you know, read reviews, maybe answer reviews, answer chatbots, and these elements, so help workflows and operations. But we see now that actually the general development of agentic AI, so more becoming where you can set goals and becoming more autonomous and really being able to support operations and businesses on a more strategic side, we see that we are getting there on a general landscape in that in 2026, the adoption will start picking up and it will bring more value adds for hotel operators. However, we're not yet at the stage where we can say, okay, it's just an easy thing to implement, and the use cases are everywhere. And so we're still, of course, in a very early stage, as also in other industries.
Sure. And in terms of the conversations you're having with your customers and your teams are having, when hotels sort of get it right, what are you seeing is the biggest commercial impact today?
The biggest commercial impact today is definitely, let's take an example, ideally, for example, from Nestor in the UK. They have an open technology stack, so with Apaleo and a little bit of different other apps, and have implemented AI tooling and agents focusing on a lot of their guest communication, everything from answering the phone via AI when the staff can't answer it, can answer messages. The first ones can also orchestrate tasks internally if tasks are created out of this via their agent. And with this, they're able to manage the numbers were really like 84,000 guest messages on different channels with just 3 people in that team. They're able to add new apartments and properties in without necessarily having to add additional staff members. But now the important part is that it's not just about creating efficiencies, but it is also about keeping actually the guest satisfaction and experience at the same level. Because when you set up these agents in the right way, if you make sure that the data is correct and all of that, then your guests are happy because they get faster responses to their often easy questions or challenges. So these use cases are, let's say, the early stage use cases for AI. So it's a lot about cost efficiencies. It's a lot about guest satisfaction. So the topics which mattered to hotel operators also before AI.
Sure, because I guess labor pressure is a huge issue across the industry, right? We know in the UK the amount of people that have left the hospitality industry. So are you saying that you're seeing hoteliers use automation and AI to free up teams rather than just sort of shifting work from one place to another?
Yes, definitely. AI isn't only about tech, right? It's an operations and people driven project to be able to actually bring value to the business. It is, we see the businesses who are looking at making sure that they have open systems to be able to then test out maybe agents, etc., in an easier way. The operations which have more standardized SOPs or more clearly defined processes, etc., and businesses which have actually also people already in-house who are open to try things out and help out and solve issues. They're the ones who are the earliest adopters. But we see as well that a lot of operators, especially also in the UK, as you say, yes, labor challenges also with, it's a challenging situation for the hotel industry in the UK, and AI can support to fill certain gaps also in the short term on that side.
And you mentioned open platforms there, and let's go on and talk about that. Why do you think modern hotels need systems that are open and modular rather than perhaps closed all-in-one solutions?
Because our world is changing rapidly. We've said that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and I'm sure a lot of years, decades before that as well. But where we see it, the pace is just getting faster and faster. And with an all-in-one solution, when I go into the market today, if I'm a hotelier with 50 rooms or 75 rooms, or a large hotel group with 10, 20, 50 properties, I can only really know what is going to happen in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Because, and even there now with AI, we're talking about agentic search will maybe change how a guest will book their hotels in a couple of months, or at least in a year or two. We don't know which tooling is the right one. We don't know what are the next challenges which we have. So in the past, you had certain assurance maybe for a couple of years. And when you now want to take a tech decision, especially you want to take invest in a PMS or something, you want to make sure that you can still keep it 5, 6, 7 years. You don't want to change a property management system every 2, 3 years. So with an all-in-one, you're betting everything on that this one provider, who might be great at this time or have these and these advantages at this time, will be able to stay on top of the game with this rapid evolution and coming from all different sides, especially with AI driving it over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years plus. With a more modular approach, you can look at, okay, what is the best setup for me today for the next 2, 3 years? And if I then want to upgrade, take something out, change something, I can just change the parts of my tech stack, and I don't have to change the whole basis. Similar as you have in your iPhone, you might still use the same iPhone event a couple of years ago, but you most likely don't use all of the same apps as you did 3 years ago.
Sure.
And this will also play, of course, in the role in a tech stack. And so this is an important part for hoteliers of any size.
Thank you. And I guess also data is an incredibly important part of this. So tell us why real-time data makes such a difference to efficiency, and access, shall I say, to real-time data makes such a difference to efficiency and decision making, and how Apaleo are approaching that with their customers.
Yeah, I mean, of course, for all of the revenue management systems or BI and other toolings, it is important to have an overview and understanding of your your business and be able to react to it directly. We see it, from cases like with Oasis or other big concerts or which happen in your city. And if you don't act automatically, directly, you can really lose a lot of revenue because you don't change your prices automatically when suddenly a surge in demand happens. This is the one part, and I think this is the one which the importance there was also the last couple of years. But something which has really changed now and going into the world of more agentic AI as well is where you have AI agents which can access your data of your systems, but also can make actions directly into your system and make them more autonomously. So for example, where you can give them a certain goal and they can make decisions or drive certain actions to help you support certain goals. And here it is important that these systems have access to clean, accessible data to be able to make the right decisions, but also that your system is so open and allows that these systems also play back into the system. Because often, we're in a world where a lot of systems say, okay, you can get your data out in a certain way, then you have to manipulate it in a complex way to actually make sense of it. So it's all about how easy it is to get access to that data. And an important part is agents, like AI agents, cannot really interact with the normal way of how software with APIs were set up. They need as well layers to give more context and make it easier to translate the API world, so how software integrates, for an agent. And this is very similar to a human at the end of the day. The more complex your tech setup is, or more complicated it is to understand, a human will also have much more complexity to actually make sense of it and make the right decisions easier.
Sure.
The same you can think about it, AI agents. They need it simple, clear, and with this they can take better actions with less chance of errors and issues.
Sure, because I guess, if you've got a hotel owner, they're sitting in front of you, or a hotel leader, and they want to know, what return they're going to get on their investment. If someone said to you, how do I know this is actually working? What metrics do you think they should be looking at?
It depends. When a hotel owner thinks about looking at it, it would be first, okay, where do you stand? What are your business goals? What do you want to achieve? And what is your current status quo? So nothing has really changed. This is how every digital transformation project you should have started also in the past should always start off like, what's your North Star? Where is my business currently? What are my biggest pain points? What are my goals? How do I want to position myself? So all of this is the same. And now it's looking at, okay, what is that kind of maybe AI factor coming into this setup where you see opportunities through AI? So maybe being able to mitigate issues in terms of not having enough staff, maybe looking at not being able to speak to my customers in all of their different languages, on all of their different channels, etc. But also looking at elements like, okay, chat, AI-driven search for bookings in the future. So what is maybe that AI question mark in a positive or as a risk? And then make a priority list of what are your business priorities. And if you look at improving your efficiency with AI, what is a specific pain point again? And what are you spending in terms of time and resources to do that? And then can you actually see a result out of it? So at the end of the day, it has not all completely changed. And you should not just generalize AI in general, but break it down as well into specific use cases on that side.
Thank you. Just want to turn our attention to your session at NoVacancy, which is labeled or titled From Generative to Agentic, the Next Leap in Hospitality AI. Without giving too much away, what can people expect who are visiting and attend your session to hear on?
Yeah, it will be all about why AI and agentic AI is, not just a tech story, what it needs from the operations, from the people, from the business to be able to achieve it, to go with it. Maybe some nuggets in terms of technology innovations and what is the forefront of the market doing, but also very actionable hands-on advice on how to go about it, how to start your journey, because we don't just want to throw around the buzzwords. Of course, we're talking about something which is not just new in the hospitality industry, but in all kind of industries. But we want to make it actionable and easy for people to say, okay, I took some ideas with me, and I learned something out of the session, and I can bring it back to my teams or for myself.
Perfect. And obviously, you have a stand on the show floor as well, and they can come and see you and the team. Why is it worth them stopping by your stand?
Why it's worth stopping by our stand, I think, to hear, we'll be there, I'll be there with the team to discuss all about, what are your business pains? How can you approach, your 2026, 2027 from a business perspective, and how can maybe a different setup of tech stack help you to achieve your goals? And Apaleo is very modular, can be very easy and simple for with the right apps for a small operator with a small house, independent. versus also larger groups. So we are there to be sparring partners, showcase how we work with our partners, and also some cool AI use cases, because the proof is in the pudding. So if you want to get some real wow moments on what is possible, come by our stand. And if you're not wowed, let me know and I'll buy you coffee for an excuse to waste your time.
Thank you. Florian, thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to seeing you at NoVacancy London.
Dan, thank you so much for having me. And everybody who wants to join us at NoVacancy, please come by our booth. Or also reach out to me via LinkedIn if you want to schedule a meeting before that. Thanks so much.